Hey y'all, this is coming really late, but I'm doing my finally making my review, semi kind of review of the ending of Cyberpunk. I got the original ending I got was the Johnny ending. I think it's called Temperance, and yeah, we'll show you a little bit of that now. Now, obviously, there are many spoilers ahead, showing you like basically all my entire recording of the ending gameplay of the game. This is starting point is from where you invade into Arasaka Tower. I chose the option to go with Rogue, which is what led me to this ending. Later on, I decided to do the ending with Panam, which I had foregone this time around. Unfortunately, I don't have any recorded video from that time because I actually wasn't really sure if I was going to end up doing this video, as it's an awful lot of work, and that's also why we're a little bit later here. Now, fun bit of info here. My entire playthrough, I played through with the Sandevistan, like the fully upgraded, like legendary status, like Sandevistan, like the best one you can get. At some point before starting this mission, I decided to switch to the thing that lets you hack, which I can't remember what it's called right now, but the other operating system, because I had to do some, I think I had to do some side quest of some sort that I wanted to use it. And apparently, before starting this mission, I forgot to change that. So I'm going through this entire thing without the Sindevistan, using a hacking system, which is of course not leveled up or has any sort of perks that would benefit me really here. So that was certainly an interesting challenge. Now, I did really like this opening mission in Arasaka Tower. Like, all of Arasaka Tower was honestly really fun. We had Alt helping us out through the whole way, taking motherfuckers out like left and right. It was really fun. There's a bit more silence here than I would have liked. So let me just say, man, I love the combat system in this game. It's amazing. The traits and everything, and the leveling up system is fantastic. And the world exploration and everything. This is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Now, the elevator rides in this game are always long and awkward silences. The other thing, not related specifically to the ending, is in this game, I always noticed that whenever there was an interact to sit down or something else to begin a conversation, like a character asks you to sit down or something, and there's a prompt, it's always a delay and it's always a little bit hard to get the prompts to actually happen. And it always leads to really awkward silences and impatience. But overall, a minor inconvenience with the game as a whole.
That's a long way down.
Now, these anti-grav boots here were like an interesting addition, I felt like. I'm not sure what other endings they appear in. I know in the Pan Am ending, and spoilers if you haven't seen that, it was a drill that you used to drill under. So in this Rogue ending, were invading from the sky. In the Pan Am ending, we're invading from underground. Now, also spoilers for the Pan Am ending, if you haven't seen it, a lot more fucking people die if you go that route. Which I guess is why Johnny ends up advising against that. You don't really want to drag Pan Am and all those people into your mess. Now, honestly, the reason I wanted to go and do the Pan Am ending is because, she was a really significant part of my story. I liked her character a lot. I romanced her. And I wanted to see, how things would go if she was more involved in the ending. One of the things that I felt was really lacking in this ending with Johnny is that you don't get to have any closure or say goodbye to pretty much anyone that you met or befriended, including, of course, your romance interest, or, in this case, Pan Am. And I felt like that really sucked, and it was kind of took away from the experience a little bit. Now, when I did the Pan Am, I think I came away a lot more satisfied with how the ending came about. Now, the other reason I preferred the Pan Am ending is there's much more of a glimmer of hope that things could possibly work out. In this ending with Johnny, you basically give up your body and you go into the ether, and Johnny takes over your body like you two agreed. This ending happens because, if you went out of the way to make a good connection with Johnny and really kind of befriend him and form a bond, and that's basically, if things don't work out for you, you pass your body on to Johnny so that he gives another chance at life. And you go into the ether. Now, honestly, in some ways, this was nice and kind of cool, but in another other hand, it kind of felt like the whole story was for nothing because you don't get cured. And like honestly, a bleak ending, it works for this game, but I did like doing the Pan Am ending and seeing another possibility where you don't end up completely screwed by the end of the game. Um, when you go with Pan Am, you get a chance to go along with the Aldecaldos, and you're given about 6 months to live, but there's at least some hope that maybe something could be figured out to cure your situation, or so that you could continue on living.
Shit.
And at the very least, you get to live out the rest of your life with your love interest. You get to spend the rest of your life with Pan Am, and she knows the situation, and so that's really nice. I feel like that's at least a much happier ending. But as I said, for this game, a bleak ending definitely fits. Sometimes in life that we do our best and we end up in a shit situation. And unfortunately, sometimes that's just how it goes. There's really no way out. Now, the cool thing about this ending was getting to see Johnny and Rogue reconnect and kind of talk about, their past and their relationship and kind of how things went for them when they were younger and reminisce and nostalgia and was it all worth it? This was cool. It was like more of a focus on Johnny and Rogue's relationship. And there's a part later on, spoilers, where that definitely is a strong like emotional moment for the story. So man, that's the other thing. There's also just like a ton of really good character writing in this game. Just like the characters are so well written, and the dialogue, and some really good character arcs. Now, I believe in the Pan Am version, this stuff with alt is focused on a little bit more. Like here, they kind of go like, "Holy fucking shit!" She's just like massacring these motherfuckers. But if you do the Pan Am ending, and I don't think this is in this ending, in the Johnny ending, if you do the Pan Am ending, they do comment on how she has actually killed civilians, not just the soldiers and stuff that work for Arasaka and the guards, but actually people that were in there and doing testing and working on the computers and stuff. Because I remember when I did this ending with Johnny, I was like, what's the big deal? She's killing these motherfuckers, they're soldiers, like it's part of like what you have to do, right? But then when I played the Pan Am ending, I was like, oh, holy shit, she's not discriminating at all. She's just killing everybody.
Can't turn back time, Johnny. Ever. But you can always.
Oh man. Yeah, speaking of bleak endings, someone always dies here, regardless of what ending you take. Actually, I'm not sure if that's true. I've only played this ending and the Pan Am ending, but at least in those two endings, someone dies here. And it's always somebody close to and important to the person that helped you. Like here, Johnny's helping you and he loses alt. I mean, she goes down like a motherfucking badass though, like fucking explosive in that motherfucker's chest. But he loses her in this ending. And if you take Pan Am with you, Thankfully, you don't lose Panam, but she loses. Oh shit, I don't remember his name. Um, but it's just been a very long time since I finished playing this game. Like, this is probably several months since I finished the game. Working on this very slowly. But anyway, he dies, and I believe, oh man, I think Mitch dies too, which really sucks. So Pan Am loses both of them if you do that ending. But either way, somebody dies here. I think there's an ending where Rogue maybe lives, but I'm not sure. Now, this fight was satisfying, in at least in the sense that we got to finally fight this asshole piece of shit Adam Smasher. But honestly, I was a little disappointed because, like, for a final boss, which is basically what this is, it was significantly, and I mean significantly easier than about the mid-ish game fight against Oda, which beat the shit out of me. That fight took me quite a good number of attempts. Now, I did play this entire game on hard mode. I didn't realize that, or I'd forgotten it until um probably more than halfway through because I was doing Phantom Liberty at that time. But either way, this fight was a little disappointing. He certainly takes damage like a damage sponge, but it's not particularly fatal. It's pretty freaking easy to get around his attacks. And at this point, you're such a high level that you are a damage sponge, pretty much equivalent to the way he is. So it's not that much of a challenge. Now, this entire playthrough, I did an acrobatics focused build along with tech, and then eventually intelligence and strength I got up as well because you can max out about 4 stats. So I did do a lot of just dodging around this motherfucker. Yeah, but I also got in close and I slashed him up. And the fact that that was not really threatening or didn't really put me in a bad situation or um like a very vulnerable situation was kind of interesting. When I fought Oda, I got up close and personal, and I was doing blades against his blades, and yeah, I definitely exposed myself to be able to get like very easily fucked up by him. And in this fight, you really don't feel it, and I think partly it's because the leveling system in this game, you get to the point where you're like end game and you're basically untouchable. As I said, I was playing on hard mode, and for like the good first half or maybe 2/3 ish of the game, and definitely some of the fights in Phantom Liberty, it's noticeable. Like it was tough for me. I don't normally play on hard mode. But then the last like bit of the game, it was like playing on like incredibly easy mode. So I don't know. That was interesting.
Defenses are breached. The path to the core lies open, but we don't have much time.
Listen to me, you boy, son of a bitch. Rogue meant more than you or I ever could. Best there ever was. And you killed her.
She knew the risks.
Rogue had it in for you. Finally got what you wanted.
You're talking tribe. I killed the old cunt.
Don't know shit, Smasher. She finished things off on her own terms. Something you'll never get.
On the other hand, however, I gotta say that shit is fucking satisfying. They really give you a nice finish off of that guy, man. As they talk shit over the whole game, and you're like, man, that guy's a fucking piece of shit. And then yeah, especially after him killing Rogue, you to get him to finish him like that was awesome.
You were the best. Always.
Father always said that he only a desert island to go to, taking but one thing. He would take rock. Their generation, made of a different metal.
And there was the last graffiti. Man, I remember going around the map. I think it's marked on your map outside of this mission. And you're like, how the fuck do I get to that shit? Anyway, if you're completing the game and you haven't done the ending yet, you're waiting to go talk to her in Arasaka Tower. I can't remember what is that called, but anyway, Open Night or whatever the mission's called. If you haven't done that yet, that's the final mission that starts this all off. You can't go back from that point. But anyway, if you're missing one graffiti, that's where it is. You got to go into the final mission to get it complete. Now, the nice thing about this game that I really liked is I didn't have to start another playthrough from the very beginning to try and get the other endings. Like, I was able to go and get the Panam ending right after this. Like, I mean, I didn't go straight to it, but the point is, after you finish the story mission, it'll put you back to the last save point that you were at before you started the final mission. So you can pick up where you left off if you haven't done any side quests, or you still have like gigs left to finish. I know I haven't finished all of them. I'm getting very close. We'll see when I get around to actually going and finishing them. But either way, I thought that was very cool. Now it will not save that you've done all the graffitis. You'll get the achievement, but when you basically finish the end credits and it takes you back to your save, it'll still I think show that you don't have all the graffitis, but you should be good.
Once out of nature, I shall never take my bodily form from any natural thing.
Now here is where you're entering cyberspace. Here is where the final decisions all happen. You talk to Alt, you find out your prognosis, and you make your choice between you and Johnny.
Upon a golden bough to sing to lords and ladies of Byzantium, of what is past or passing or to come.
Looks like I was right again. Told you I'd handle it.
Good to see you too, Johnny.
You see any of what went down?
Nope. But that's probably for the best.
Rogue's dead. Smasher was there.
I'm sorry.
Shouldn't be. Died for me, not for you.
Is my body still in one piece?
Parked it in Arasaka Tower's basement. Plugged it into the network.
Figured as much. Your output's been torturing my brain with Soul Killer for a good while now.
Alt? Gonna show yourself? Say hi, maybe?
I'm an engram now. A construct. Fuck.
Yeah, well, welcome to the club. Hey, Alt, you here?
Told me she's finishing the checksum. Then she'll copy me back over into my flesh.
Soul Killer, we can't feel it doing its thing. How come? Should be pissing our panties in pain right now.
Digital analgesia, or data streams. Certain sensations, inputs can be blocked. Blah, 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 yada, yada.
Alt make you suffer through an exhaustive lecture?
Imparted it instantly. Whatever. She did say she'd destroy Mikoshi, just as you agreed. Gonna release all those poor bastards, only suck them into her own bosom. Make them part of herself.
So we at the finish line? It's all in Alt's hands now?
No,
What the? Alt?
I made a mistake in excluding the body as a factor. DNA reconfiguration has progressed too far. Added to aggressive, invasive medications, the body's immune system attacking its own neurons.
Spit it out! In human terms!
V will die independent of what I do. This is inevitable. This is imminent.
For fuck's sake, Alt. You had one job and you fucked it up?
I could not know the situation before conducting a thorough and precise diagnosis.
You promised this poor little shit a new life, and you lied. You fucking lied!
Johnny, shut it for 2 seconds, will you? Gotta think.
Alt, come on. There's gotta be a way out of
The
this.
biochip has irreversibly changed the host organism. It no longer belongs to V, who is an intruder there. The situation is different for you. All changes were made to accommodate you.
Hang on. Telling your ex to kick me out of my own body?
The changes are irreversible. You have nothing left to lose. He has everything to gain. I will not interfere in your personal affairs, but while Johnny has full control, he can do what he wishes.
Alt, give us
What the hell for? So you can trick me into agreeing? Giving you a free pass, even though you can already do what you want with my body?
You're my friend, V. I'd never pull that on you. Never do you wrong.
Seeing as how I'm doomed to die. We stick to the plan I gave you. I leave. You stay. Keys to my body are yours.
Okay, yeah. Can't say I wasn't hoping you would say that.
Now, I gotta admit, this part actually really confused me.
Johnny,
Which option was which choice
So
in the
you continue
dialogue
on.
was really confusing because of the way that it was worded.
While V will
Now, I
protect you.
fully intended to have Johnny take the keys to the body, like we agreed, but the way that your character responds if you say one dialogue option, which it seems like it's the
just
option
promise me
that's
one thing,
correct,
asshole.
he'll get pissed off.
You won't forget
And I
me.
realized that that was actually the opposite option. That was like the I'm going, I'm leaving, I'm fucking off to the abyss, and then your character keeps your body. It was like completely backwards from what you would think based on the fucking dialogue as is written. Now I know this happens sometimes in RPG like games where the dialogue option that is the way that is written in the text is actually completely different from what the actual option is. So anyway, I actually had to like go out of the whole thing, and I actually had to restart the game from a certain save point, which fortunately it was pretty much where I left off, but I had to wait through all of the talky stuff, between entering cyberspace and the decision. But anyway, I've cut that out of the recording so that so it's nice and seamless here, so you wouldn't even know. But yeah, that is something that I noticed. That is a criticism of mine. If this is like the ultimate major important choice in the game, I should know which choice is which. So yeah.
Hey, guy.
Well, also the other thing, it
So
wasn't
Joe,
just the dialogue
so
option
after
that was
3
confusing.
weeks and a good
It also
time,
confused me if I should
some
be entering the
reasons I
well
gotta take
or if
care
I
of.
should be going with alt.
No problem.
That part confused me. Like
My mom
which
wigs out when I
one
tell her I'm leaving.
makes Johnny have the
I
body.
think she can
That
take
was
me
also
anywhere I
confusing to
want.
me. That's the other reason why I like quit out the game really quick and had to pick it up from where I left off. I actually had to Google it because I was like,
Hey, so when I
which
play,
one is which?
my fingers
But
hurt.
anyway, obviously here you
Really?
can
How
see
come?
that I have Johnny. He entered the well,
String
which is
cut into the
re-entering the body,
face, make 'em sore.
um, as me
Just
and
how
as
it is.
V as the character of V and Johnny had agreed.
Play along
Now
with me, big
this
shot.
ending here with
Start
Johnny,
hitting
What
them
do you think you were
um,
doing, you little shit?
honestly, not a whole lot happens.
Where?
It goes on for a
Uh-huh.
very long
Just
time.
opposite.
Probably went on a
Let's
little bit
check
longer
this
than I would have
out
liked.
now.
I kept
You
recording
know
through the
I'm
whole
doing who
thing,
knows what,
but
yeah?
yeah, honestly, I was like,
Fuck's
I
sake.
did get to
Wipe
a
my
point
cheeks
where I
again?
was like, okay, this is like a
It's
little bit
fine.
cool,
Now you show me
but
what
it
I
definitely
want.
felt way
6:10.
longer
Steve's
than it
helping
needed
me
to
out.
be.
Get
So
back in 2 hours.
now I don't have a whole lot more to say
Decide
about
when
this
the fuck
ending.
comes,
Um,
goes,
as I
whatever.
said,
Not
unfortunately, I
you.
don't have the
One thing
recording
a
of
guy
any of the
can't do.
Panam ending. As
Why?
I said, much better in my
Because
opinion in terms of like
no.
epilogue kind of stuff. Much more satisfying. Feels like a much
You
more
go.
nice, and just felt,
Another
I don't know.
trouble.
It was really good. As I said, I wish I had the recording of it.
You
Um,
don't have to pay me
don't
for
really
this.
have anything else to say. If you want, you can watch the rest of my playthrough here, see the whole Johnny ending if you want. I'll leave it in. I'm not going to edit it out. You can watch through to like the credits or whatever. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. This video actually didn't take me nearly as long as I thought it was going to do. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. I'm very new to like trying to do any serious video editing for YouTube. All of my videos, as you can tell, are just my stream VODs pretty much, or clips that I took. I'd like to get more into editing together videos like this. Um, as I said, this went way easier than I thought. Didn't take me nearly as long as I thought it would. I'm actually doing this all before my stream this Friday night. Um, I still have a good hour before I have to stream. I didn't think I was going to have that much time. I thought I was going to have to stop so that I could do whatever I needed to do to prepare for the stream. But fortunately, hey, I finished editing this and it's all good. Um, Basically, just had two major size clips to put together the recordings and edit out a little bit of the middle. And then, yeah, I'm just watching this back through and adding in my commentary. It's been a really long time, so I did actually have to watch it along to kind of remind myself what was my opinion anyway, or what I had to say. Anyway, if you stuck around this long, thank you so much. Please subscribe. Please like and subscribe. I notice that pretty much none of the people who watch my videos are subscribed. So yeah, if you could please hit that subscribe button, it'd be much appreciated. I am trying to expand over more into YouTube and not just Twitch. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed.
Write what you know about. Golden rule of songwriting. Any writing, really.
I don't hardly know anything. Maybe our building, I guess.
First of all, that's bullshit. And second, Tower Life's potentially great material.
And third, there's always a third thing.
You're young. Give yourself time. Ideas will come. Life will shake you, roll you, maybe embrace you. The music will find you.
We have arrived.
Cream. Hang here a minute.
Nah, I'm coming in. Flip through the new releases.
What can I do for you?
Looking for a six-string. Electric.
Feast your eyes.
We'll see.
I want something solid and true.
What? And they're not?
No offense, but I'm looking for a real instrument. And willing to pay real money.
Should have said so. Come on, let's go out back. How's this?
I'm coming too. Whoa!
To the
Fucking
right
awesome.
and left, the latest chromatics and Henderson. Vintage axes in the back.
Wanna try this one?
Be my guest. I'ma let you two play around in here alone. Else those savages out front will clean out half the store.
Never ever heard anyone play Silverhand like that.
You know, I read he never took any lessons. Chum was totally self-taught, made up his own style. How do you do that? I mean, sound just like him.
Good ear, kid. No one can imitate Silverhand's style.
But you did. I just heard you.
Obviously got a bit of him in me. Or a lot. Maybe I am Johnny.
But how? Johnny'd be like 80 million years old, and you're like way too young.
You know, this is just a body. How the dice landed for me. Ultimately, I am who I am.
Yeah, right. Chum, you're a bigger Psycho fan than I am. Still haven't explained how you do it.
Don't worry about that. Just come up with your own style, and all you need for that is practice.
And talent.
Talent you got.
Really? You think so?
I just don't say things I don't think are true. Not anymore.
Best day ever. Fuck! My hands are shaking. Rockers are rebels. They always speak their minds. Tried once with my dad, you know. Didn't go so well.
In time, you'll learn who you really are. What you really want from the world.
I don't understand.
Want to be a real rebel? Gotta be yourself first. Be authentic. Rebels are made, not born. Made from the punches life throws at them. The punches they take.
You know, you're weird. But I like you anyway.
Let's pay. Delta out of here. I'll take
And?
it.
Excellent. Glad to see she'll be in good hands. Help you with anything else?
No thanks. Here you go. See ya. Let's Delta. Still got some biz to take care of.
All right.
All right. Let's roll.
Sure thing. Where to?
The cemetery.
You got it. My dad says there's gonna be another Cope War. Liable to jump at each other's throats any day now. Think it's true? Think there'll be another war?
Asking the wrong guy. Got no interest in the topic. Couldn't care less, to be honest. Know why?
Why?
'Cause I realized I don't have to.
Got a friend who lives around here.
Where?
Can't see it from here. Just saying.
He a good friend of yours?
Invited me over to his house once. His mom made lunch. Then we went and hung out on the bridge. I like driving through here. It's nice.
You know what? You're right. It is nice out here.
Never been out this way?
No, I have. Just never noticed. Never had time to just sit down and watch. City slipped through my fingers. Just sped right by. Passed underfoot, overhead, and I can't even say when it happened.
Gonna write a song about it?
Maybe.
Whoa! I didn't know you had a gun. Hella preem. My dad used to sell ones like those. You gonna shoot someone?
No, it's just a keepsake.
Belonged to someone important, right?
Important doesn't even come close.
What are you gonna do with it?
Put it back where it belongs.
Can I come with?
Now wait here, okay? Won't be long.
Okay.
Marrying my sister. Financially, much better moving forward. Cuidado! Watch out!
You are standing in the place of eternal rest. Lighting candles and spray painting are strictly forbidden.
Rogue. Can't believe it turned out this way. I shouldn't have dragged you into this. I'm sorry. Oh, V. Thanks for... Huh. Well, for everything. I'm wiser now, and I don't plan to waste it. So this is goodbye.
You are standing in the place of eternal rest. Lighting candles and spray painting are strictly forbidden.
Where to now?
I got a bus to catch.
The person you just, visited, he died a while ago?
Not that long ago.
You miss him?
A little, yeah.
When my grandpa died, I missed him a lot. But now I only miss him sometimes.
Stop the bus! Hey! Get off! Wait! The guitar! You forgot your guitar!